My name is Vinny. You find me at meetingvinny.com. Jumping on right now to hang out with my boy Chris. And Chris, I think he caught me. I'm going to have to ask him. I think we met up during a Periscope I did. Seemed like he's friends with one of my best mentor, Bill Ebert. So let's ask him. Let's dig down. Ask him some questions on how he finds me. But I'm gonna wait for him to get on. But during that time, hoping you guys are doing well. Again, I'm Vinny. I do e-commerce mainly. I sell on Amazon, sell on eBay, sell on Shopify. Selling to me has always been a lifelong thing. My parents were entrepreneurs. They sold food on a food truck as immigrants in the early 90s. And so, we were brought up into that environment. It was just to sell, give products, give service, give value. Let me see if my boy Chris is able to get on. 1 second. Are you able to get on? Any case, I chop this up little by little. But anyway, we came here in late 80s, I believe, early 89. That's when my younger sister was born. The only U.S. born citizen in our family. And so my dad had built a business on food stamps from governmental assistance. He actually had a job at a local factory. Can't remember what he was doing. However, he quit 3 weeks into the job and actually had decided that, hey, if he were to work for someone for that extended amount of time, for future timing, there's no way that he was able to support, his 6 kids along with his wife, including himself, 8 people. So what's a man to do? Make a decision, and he went with it. So he took food stamps. At that time, we had no money, still a little youngster, 4 years old, 89. We're talking about, I was born in 85. That was so long ago. And he pretty much built a business based on that. He used food stamp to purchase inventory and other assets to really thrive into the business. Let me see. Okay, are you able to jump on? Sorry. Food stamp to purchase inventory and other assets. Okay, my boy's actually just stepping into his office. We're waiting. Actually, if you guys want to jump on, let me know. I'll talk to you too. All right. I'm gonna continue talking. Stepping in my office right now. Okay, it looks like he is 2 mutual friends. How can I tell who? Oh, he's friends with Robert Hollis and Bill Ebert. Awesome. So let me see what this young gentleman is all about. Let's see what I can help him out with. I don't know too much about many things. I feel like this year is a rebirth of a new life. Mainly because when you take on something new, when you take on something really new, something new to learn and possibly execute, it's scary. And so all the learning, all the execution, all the errors that is to be made and all the victory that is to be had will come about. And so that's why I feel, this year I am reborn again. Sort of having self-doubt tonight about what I'm doing, but nonetheless, I know for a fact it just comes with being an entrepreneur. I'm like browsing Facebook as I'm waiting for the gentleman. Yeah. Forgetting we live in the same time zone. Correct. All right. I see one viewer. How you doing, viewer? I'm actually waiting for my buddy Chris to jump on, so we can have a quick hangout, so I can hear his story, see where he came from, what he's looking to do in the future. But if you're looking to jump on, man, how can I give you the link? In fact, you can jump on. We're going to talk mainly about business and personality, our history and what we're looking forward to. So if you guys want to make some money, learn how to make some money. I'm all about making money from home. You see this orange wall purposely painted so my eyes could be like wide awake at all times, But my name is Vinny, coming at you from Philly. Again, I'm waiting for my boy Chris to jump on. He's actually getting settled in his office. I'm about to jump on. But if you guys are on, you have any question about online business, how to sell, how to make money online, click on the comment. Ask me any question you like. I'll be more than happy to answer. I graduated with a degree in engineering, doing absolutely nothing with it, of course, just as if like 80% of the other graduates in school. However, self-taught myself how to sell online. And up to date, I believe my total net sales is roughly about $600,000-$700,000 in about since 2011. So not bad, right? But that's net sales. Total profit is something else. But see, I want you to just take me to YouTube. I'm sorry if I didn't use this before. Okay, cool. Boy, Chris is having a hard time. 1 second. We'll send you another link. Okay. Try that. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Interesting fact, I can't check the comments. Oh, also, if you guys are watching, I'm on Periscope too. At me, meetingvinny.com. Did 2 Periscope today. One on business talk, which is Chris. Bam.
What's going on, man?
Live and lovely, man. What's good? What's good?
Oh, not too much, man. Just a lovely evening out here.
You are where again? Oklahoma?
Huh? Yeah,
Where?
I'm out in Oklahoma,
Okay.
right outside of Tulsa.
Awesome, awesome. What's that behind you? Is that pull-up bar?
What's that?
Is that pull-up bar behind you?
Yeah.
Oh, beauty. I need one of those in my house.
Yeah, it makes it convenient, man. Trying to finagle going to the gym with raising 4 kids on my own and all that.
No way. 4
It can
kids? How
get
old are you now?
pretty crazy, hard to get out and do things. So just try and manage where I can.
Wow, 4 kids. How old are you now, Chris?
Be 30 in February.
I clap for you. That's a lot of patience for 4 kids.
Yeah, it does. It definitely kind of transforms you. It's kind of just a daily struggle. Some days are easy, some days are drag outs and running through the pits.
Do you see yourself as a different man after having your first child, now 4th child? Like, how do you see yourself from then and now?
I mean, each kid, I mean, yeah, you go through changes and all that because you got to finagle everything. And, at the moment it's just me. So, yeah, that kind of complicates things, but you adjust, man. You learn to figure out what you can do better, and especially here lately, man. It's just I had hopped on earlier, heard you talking about just this being a year of change, and how you've gone through just some changes recently. That's exactly what's happened to me here lately.
Phenomenal.
But
I'm gonna catch up with you, man. I've been trying to have kids as well, but I guess luck hasn't really come on my side. I haven't had any kids yet, but I'm looking forward to having my first one, hopefully this year, and if not next year. So I'm definitely going to contact you once I have it for some
yeah,
fatherly advice.
yeah, man. It's there's no rule books to 'em, man. It's you just kind of learn as you go, and I mean, as they get older, everything changes too. You know what I mean? So it's like once you get to a certain point of okay, I got this, things kind of change up. Now I haven't hit the teenage years yet, but I'm sure everything at that point you got to kind of adapt to that. As they change, you kind of change, and you got to change your parenting style and just your regular habits every day.
I hear you on that. I hear you on that. So what are you working on nowadays?
Actually, currently I'm actually unemployed. And that's half the reason I got with the guys up there at Life Mechanics, and
Uh-huh.
just kind of started watching some videos from them, reaching out to local score chapter out here to kind of just get with other entrepreneurs, man. Because one thing I realized, I spent 5 years working at a place out here, and I mean, it was manufacturing. It was hell, man. I was miserable. It started to kind of destroy me as a person. You start to lose your dreams and your goals, and uh, that's kind of where now I'm at a place that I want to work for myself and I want to do well. I mean, I don't care if I get rich or not, but just enough to be able to provide for my kids and be able to go out and experience life. If I want to take them out somewhere, I don't have to worry about cash. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of where I'm at. And that's half the reason I actually wanted to get with you and kind of just pick your brain. I know that you got that series coming up. From what I understand, you sell products on Amazon. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, that's correct. Yo,
Okay.
I'll let you lead the conversation. I want to give as much value as I can during our talk right now. So any
Okay.
questions you have, shoot it off, and I'll do my best as far as what's in here to help you out.
That works, man. I guess the first question I have is, how long have you been uh, doing the internet marketing on Amazon?
Um, uh, as far as Amazon, I okay. I'll tell you a quick story, kind of like a back end story of how everything started. Which
Hmm.
along the way will answer your question. But um, in 2011, after I sunk every dollar I had in a typical business, because I got fired from my job or laid off from my first and last job I had as an engineer, 2009. So all of 2010, I spent, just building up this sauce business, and I sunk all my unemployment compensation was close to $25,000 straight into the business. So I had zero return, sold nothing, had a ton of inventory, and I had no idea how to sell it. So, I read a book by Seth Godin, which is called The Dip, When to Take Yourself Out of the Game and When to Persevere and Continue on forward with the business. Because a lot of people, you've heard, they tell you, don't give up, don't give up. But then, of course, you'd be foolish to keep on going if there's no advantage for you, right? So at that point,
Absolutely.
I decided to pull out from that business. I knew I didn't know what I had to know in order to do business the right way. Does that make sense? Um,
Yeah.
and so I kind of pulled back, and then, so it was like through several months of just like constant thinking, what am I good at? What am I good at? What am I good at? So I did what any person would do. I started selling stuff around the house on Craigslist, on eBay. And eBay
Mm.
wasn't anything new because since '96, I was buying and selling stuff on eBay as a kid. When eBay was
Really?
taken, PayPal wasn't even out yet. When you had to send money order and cash out, when VHS was still hot back in the days,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, like that was the day. So I was like, you know what? I'm like, eating, drinking salt soup every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, sleeping on my brother's couch. I gotta do something to make money, man. So, I at that point I sort of learned how to sell on eBay as a professional seller. And so then of course, I started joining forums back then in 2010. Facebook group wasn't all that hot. And so there were forums of eBay, Amazon sellers. And so then I ran across one post. He said, if you're not selling on Amazon, then you're not a serious, seller or anything like that. So, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
And then sorry, that's my fiance. She like to interrupt. But selling on Amazon. So now I started just tinkling with the platform. Because it's a totally different game from eBay. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I was selling branded products. I was selling other people's product, which had very low profit margin. But nonetheless, it was still profit for one to survive. Just want to eat and pay the bill. It was fine and dandy. And then so I started learning how to sell my own product. Essentially, if this was, I don't know, let's just say it's a branded pen for like $100, whatever. And
Yeah.
I would, figure out market research if this is a hot selling pen, how much unit is it selling per day? I'm sorry, not per day, on an average monthly basis, how much units they're selling. And then I
Hmm.
would source out suppliers that would have similar design, or I could send this specific product to the factory, and they could reverse engineer the product and pretty much produce it for me, which is pretty awesome. And of course, you'll have like, Vinny brand or whatever, Chris brand
Yeah.
written across the pen, and then that's it. And then pop it on Amazon, and the rest is just all marketing. So I learned that aspect, and then ever since that time, it was just like constant learning, right from wrong, right from wrong, right from wrong. So nowadays, I'm getting a little kind of like bored from the business, and I figure, what, a lot of people are trying to sell or want to learn how to work from home. What are their options? Some of the options are direct selling, network marketing, but if that's great. If you're into network marketing stuff, I mean, you want to try it out, I would say go for it. However, the only, not the only, but like one of the hurdles I see is that people are not used to self-development, which is a huge, huge thing, on about network marketing, direct selling. You have to constantly improve yourself, and not, if you're coming straight out from school, getting a job, you're always being told what to do,
Yeah.
especially at your job, you're telling what to do, when to come in, when to eat. Like, that's crazy. And then so when you have the time to make a decision for yourself, like, okay, well, tonight I'm going to read a book. Oh, damn, I'm making that decision. So a lot of people are uncomfortable. And so when they start, they sink in $200, $300, $400 into it. And then the person who brings them in, promise a lot of stuff. And it's like, just too much. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if you're in a Christ mode where, a dollar is a lot of money, right?
Mhm.
Network marketing may or may not be the way to go, depending on what your, the group of network that you have.
Yeah.
So for me, I figure, okay, well, how much will it take for an individual to really see, progress, right? Because
Mhm.
profit, at the end of the day, profit is all that matters. So I figure, okay, I'm going to start with bare minimum, $500, right? So I did a case
Mhm.
study of myself, researched my product, spent $500 on samples, like a sample initial order of less than 100 units, had it shipped over, blasted on Amazon, sold it within the week. I was like, okay, this is doable, because now the person see their money being returned within, like less than 30 days. And now they see
Yeah.
profit on top of that. I mean, how much profit really depends, right? But let's just say, for the
Yeah.
sake of our conversation, numbers, let's say you invest 500 and your return is like now 720. So your profit margin is 220, whatever percentage that may be, I think 40 something percent. I don't know. Anyway, you're getting a 40% return within a month. And now you can sink that $720 back into inventory, right? Buy more products, and keep saying. So now you slowly, gradually, so now you understand and see exactly how you can really increase your business. And so that's where I really it's like this year, I decided to kind of step into that realm and just consult people and help them out along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm looking for right now. Because I mean, this is all new to me. I've always worked a job. I've never looked at marketing on my own. I've never. I mean, I've done sales jobs before, so that's nothing new. Talking to people is, I mean, it's not an issue. I'm a people person. I like to talk, but the
Right.
main thing about it is the whole dynamic behind, um, you know, trying to find a product. A lot of what I've been reading is find something that you're familiar with and passionate about. That's where it kind of really pushes you to look internally inside yourself to figure out, what do I like? What am I passionate about? So, I mean, that alone breeds that self improvement. It really kind of propels you into yourself to where you have to think. And I mean, at least for me, that's where I'm at. Ever since I started reading some books, I mean, I started reading Tim Ferriss's 4 Hour Work Week, and it talks a lot about online marketing and even some Amazon stuff and stuff like that. And I mean, it's a lot to take in. I started listening to audiobook, and it's a lot to take in. I'm gonna have to go back 2 or 3 different times and take notes and everything else, and just trying to submerge myself in that. I think I tried to take on too much at one time with that book, but then just talking to other entrepreneurs, just reaching out. It's like, hey, where did you start? What kind of conflicts did you see? How did you figure this out? Because I mean, that's kind of that's kind of brings me to another question. Is what are some of the mistakes that you have made along the way that you would advise others to avoid?
I wouldn't advise you to make, I mean, avoid any of the mistakes because all the mistakes I've done have led me to where I'm at right now, you know. But
Okay.
more, you know, but not to kind of diverge your question, you know, away. But I would say, you know, some of the things I could recommend into to sort of like quantum leap yourself faster to get to where you want to be. Of
Hmm.
course, is you know nowadays technology is all around us. So we're talking, you know, in the sense of online selling and stuff, you know. Go on Facebook and join all the groups on there, right? And of course, you know, it's like when you join, like there's a gazillion topics of everyone's talking about, and you could spend three lifetime trying to read it and not understand anything, you know. but,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but nonetheless, here's the cool part because like as you're scrolling your Facebook feed, sometime one person question might pop up. You're like, huh, okay, well, marketing. Okay, let me jot that down and investigate a little bit further. So you're not learning linearly. You're learning like chunks from chunks from chunks from chunks from chunks, and then maybe 3, 4, 6 months down the road, that same topic you saw today might pop up again, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm at this point in my business where I can use that. Oh, okay, well I've seen that before, kind of thing. So it kind of breeds familiarity for the future.
Hmm.
Second thing is by joining groups, you kind of surround yourself with people of the same caliber, of the same, you know, focus and goal. Um,
Hmm.
and you know, like you know, Jim Rohn said, you know, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out around with. But now you have like thousands of people who want to do what you're doing. You know,
Right.
I would say, let's see, I'm just thinking of things on the fly right now. Number three, I would say pick one thing and master the hell out of it. Spend at least 90 days on it before you give up on it. You know, 90 days is like that magic number that you just have to learn, execute, learn, execute, learn, execute. You know, 90 days. Number four is continue to read because you're really going to get a lot of the ideas of what if I should, that kind of statement in here is really through reading. And if you know, earlier you mentioned audiobooks. I'll send you this audiobook by DJ DeMarco. It's called the Millionaire Fast Lane. He covers
Hmm.
all aspect of business, whether it's online selling, whether it's, you know, network marketing, direct sales, whether it's a typical laundromat business, automotive, whatever, right? He covers the whole spectrum of business that we have out there, trading and all that such, you know. I'll send that to you. Certainly have a listen. It's about 10 hours long, but nonetheless, it'll you know,
Wow.
generate some ideas in your end because ideas will only generate according to what your experience is, right? And what you've heard
Exactly.
people doing, you know. So everything I'm saying now may or may not resonate as much until you really kind of like, I don't know how, what's the word to really describe it, but like you really kind of like see it for yourself. You know what I mean?
Almost comprehend. I mean, there comes a point because I mean, even some of the stuff that I've been reading now, and some of the just books and YouTube videos, and I mean, listening to just different speakers and some of the stuff that they go through, and you know what I mean. There's a lot of information out there, but sometimes that just doesn't hit you directly. It's like still, it's like, okay, where's the missing link? And once you find that missing link, it all kind of makes sense. I found that happening to where it's almost kind of like a puzzle. You put pieces here, pieces here, pieces here, and you start to see the picture. But that's my biggest holdup right now is like, okay, what do I want to get involved with, because I mean, I don't want my first go round to be a complete failure. Because for me, I'm looking at this as an income. So there's a lot of risk involved as far as that goes. It's kind of a do or die scenario. And so I want to do my research the best I can. I mean, of course, you can never guarantee that something's going to actually work out right off the bat, but I want to have the highest probability of it being successful, at least to be able to make a living off of. I don't expect to, make hundreds of thousands of dollars by any means, but at least enough to live off of to continue pursuing the skills that are involved in actually becoming seriously successful. So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at a hold up. I mean, I can figure out, I started kind of researching different manufacturers for things if I was going to go that route, trying to research, like third party, basically, I guess would be considered, marketing for other people's products and stuff like that. And like you were saying earlier, it doesn't seem like that would be very profitable. And so it's just more or less finding your niche. And I guess once you do that, you kind of just run with that. Once it clicks inside of you, okay, whoa, wait a minute, I actually know about this. Then you kind of divulge all your energy and your attention and focus into that. And I mean, how did you pick your first product? I mean, how did you find that out? Is it just something that, before you even started, like, oh, I want to do this? Or was it something that you actually had to sit back and figure out?
Well, it was a multi process for me at least. But as far as picking my first product, it kind of fell in my lap because I'm a coffee fanatic, and so
Uh-huh.
my thing was, I walked around my house and I was looking at every single object that I could find. Like, okay, book, okay, coffee maker, coffee, tissue. Like I looked at everything. And so I just, dude, like really, I just like jot down everything, okay? And then so of course
Uh-huh.
after that I had criterias on um, on what each item had to fulfill. And so then I cross out each item that didn't fulfill those criteria. So it's like a recipe for me. If any item didn't meet any of like my 10, 12 criteria, it was like boom, 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 boom. Because it didn't make any sense for you to sell, this mug if you were to only sell what 5, 10 a month. Like why?
Yeah.
Versus selling 100,000 of this. Much
Yeah. Exactly.
better. Much better. And then so for me, it was just like, okay, well, I love coffee. So that's my passion. Like, I can't say that's a passion, but that's kind of an addiction for me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
chose something in the kitchen category. Yeah. But for the others that I've seen, they chose camping. They chose hunting gears. They chose, I don't know, bathroom. What's the other one they had? Toys, baby products. So the amount of products, like if you research Amazon, there's like millions of products out there.
Yeah.
Millions. So there is never even let's just say you and I are selling the same mug, okay?
Hmm.
Your marketing effort, the way you market that product may differ from how I do it, okay?
Yeah.
And then so even though we're both killing it a different route, which is why you know the business itself is so dynamic and so incredible is that we both have the same thing, but depending on how you do things is what matters at the end. And so just picking the product out, um, having it, being sold on Amazon, I would say that's like 10. Well, I can't say this. Picking the product is important, and that's like the majority of the time you probably spend the first week or two. Um, when I teach the group how to do this, okay? Because if you pick, like I said earlier, you pick a faulty product, the rest of the process is gone to waste. But after that, when we get into the marketing aspect of things, and that's when you guys can, kind of like spread out and kind of do your own thing, kind of do your own research method, ask people how to do this, how to do that. But I'll show you exactly how I do my method.
Hmm.
And how I really get to where I'm at right now. But then again, when you're talking, connecting with people of the same goal, you might find different things. And so I'm not perfect, to be honest with you. Be very transparent. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning from these, high income, because there's people out there that's making $1 million a month, 200 grand a month, even like 50 grand a month. 50 grand a month is like the norm. Like, whether you like to believe
Really?
that, 50 grand per month is the norm. Okay. And if you go online, you're like, hey, I made $2,000 this month. They're like, oh, okay, well, good job, kiddo. You got a lot to learn. You still got a lot to learn.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Uh, well, how do you overcome then in that? I mean, I don't mean to take up too much of your time
That's
if you're
fine.
going to be
That's
going
fine.
over all this, man. It's just this is something burning. I finally found someone that actually is doing it. I've never been in marketing by any means, so I don't have a group. I don't have people around me that I can be, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? So I don't mean to be redundant. I know you're probably going to cover a lot of this when you go through your series, but it
No,
was
it's
just
fine.
like, man, I
Totally
really
fine.
want to talk to this guy. But how do you overcome the competitive market? Is that something that you look at when you go to researching a product to actually begin either manufacturing or reselling, or however that works out. I mean, is that something that you take into consideration, or is that some kind of I don't know, complication that you end up finding when you begin to put your products on Amazon?
Okay, there's multi steps into that. Again, I have a specific recipe that I use
Mm-hmm.
personally for myself, and so let's say, pick a real good example. Cell phone case, which is a really big product online. Okay, so if you and I were to jump on the cell phone case category marketplace now and try to sell some iPhone phone cases, okay, you could still make good money, right? However, the guys and gals who's been in there, long term, they've gained the trust and respect for their brand already. So if you're like, Chris's brand LLC, who just comes on with a green case, like, okay, well, you have no credentials yet. Why should
Yeah,
you? And plus, these guys are buying by the 100,000 quantity per month, whereas you might start with like maybe 20 to 50 units. So your
yeah,
price per cost on this might be a few bucks, whereas for them might be a couple cents. you
yeah,
know, and
exactly.
so there's no way. Well, not saying there's no way, but it's extremely difficult to compete in that cell phone case realm. Now, let's say you want to on a very niche, like, and I'll teach you how to do this too. If you want to sell, let's say, camouflage vests, right? Very specific
Mm-hmm.
camouflage vests, three sizes: small, medium, large, whatever. You might have, okay, you still see about 15, 20 sellers, but then at that point you examine, okay, what's the seller doing with their listing? How are they selling? How are they presenting their product? Their description, and you should look at all these little nuances. And if any part that they're lacking, you got a product. Buy that baby
There you
in,
go.
blast it on Amazon, do better than they're doing at that one flaw they have, you're good to go. And repeat the process. Rinse and repeat with your second, third, fourth, 10th product.
Man, yeah, that makes it sound a lot simpler than because when you first get on there and you're looking at, because I was looking at another guy's video off of YouTube,
Mhm.
and he was kind of going through it, and it was like it seemed like a lot, to try and take in, especially to, I mean, obviously any entrepreneur is taking a risk by stepping out. I mean, I'm not so much worried about that. I kind of look forward to that because it's really going to make me push myself to one, learn, and two, to adapt. That's something that, coming from working a 9 to 5, and I mean, in my case, the place I was working at before, I was putting in 60, 70 hours a week at some
Woo.
points. I'm hardly home, not seeing my kids
Right.
6 days a week. I mean, it was pretty rough at times, and just coming home flat exhausted. By the time you do come home, yeah, you don't have the energy to sit there and play with your kids. You're just flat exhausted. It takes everything out of you. So that's where, I mean, even if I got to put in possibly even 60 hours a week, which, from what I've seen, you don't have to put in that much time, selling on Amazon. But even if I do, I can schedule that time around my kids, and just kind of adapt to that lifestyle. That way, my job is fit around my life instead of my life fit around my job. And that's one of the biggest benefits and one of the biggest reasons why I want to break into it. And I mean, from what I can see, there's a lot of money to be made. And I mean, even just a good living is, that's my first goal. Once I get there, standard, set a new goal, standard, and just keep on stepping up the rings of the ladder until I'm to a point where I can help other people out. That's my ultimate goal, man. It's always been something that I've been passionate about, is helping other people. But a lot of times you're not in a position to really help yourself, in a lot of places. So I mean, I look forward to that. It's as many people as handing their hand out to me. I look forward to the day. That's another goal of mine. I look forward to the day that I'm able to put my hand out and help someone out of their, what I mean,
Right.
position or whatever they're in. So I mean, there's a lot of reward in that, and money can't really even buy that. So, um,
I love your mindset, man. I love it. I should.
uh,
Huh?
yeah, I mean, really, my whole perspective on life has changed probably over the past month and a half or so. Especially, I
Why do you say
mean,
that?
you know, Well, just I mean, listen to Tony Robbins. I mean, my whole life, one thing I've realized, I'm 30 years old, man, and I'm not old by any means. You know what I mean? Life is just beginning, but I already have four kids. I look at them and what I've been able to provide them, working, breaking my back for for other people to make for them to make a profit. And I've had ideas in the past. Or, oh, I want to work for myself. I want to open a business, and the excitement of all that, but I never believed in myself. I always doubted myself and I was afraid to fail. And just here lately, when it hits you, man, it's I don't know. Some people have a midlife crisis. The way I'm looking at it is I've had a midlife awakening, and it's just a whole perspective on life
I
changes
love it.
because
I love it.
you look at it and it's like, why did I doubt you look back and it's like, why did I doubt myself? There's so much inside of me and I was afraid to fail, but failure is part of success. You know what I mean? Making mistakes and, letting other people's opinions really kind of hold you down. It's like, I'm better than that, and just comes a point in your life, especially like me, I'm unemployed right now, four kids, I'm barely making it, slowly drowning. And it's like, I've got to do something. And it makes you step back and look inside of yourself and just look around you and like, there's got to be more to life than this, than working your butt off, 60 hours a week. And then by the time you're, 45 years old, your body's broken and you know what I mean? You barely have any kind of savings put aside and you never really go anywhere. What are you waiting for? Like retirement, you know what I mean? Then what? You know what I mean? So for me it's I mean, I want to get to a point to where I don't necessarily retire early. I can enjoy the retirement life. That way I don't miss out on this time with my kids. Because I mean, there's so many people that I know that have been gone either maybe on the road or whatever, and they miss so much of life with their family to be able to provide for them. But later in life, the way I see it and the way what I'd be afraid of in that instance is the money worth it? You know what I mean? And if you can find a way to be able to be there for your family and still make that money, how hard would you be willing to work for that? You know what I mean? What kind of compromise, what kind of uh, chances would you be able to be willing to take on that? And I mean, a lot of it just boils down to you have to believe yourself that you can do it. And that's kind of the point I've gotten to. It's like, what do I have to lose? And once you get to that point, you start looking inside. It's like, I'm better than that. I'm better than what I've given myself. And once you start doing that, people actually look at you differently. You know what I mean? Sometimes in a negative way, sometimes in a positive way. I'll get on Facebook and, here lately, just get on there and ask, just, almost not quite social experiment, but just get other people's perspective. Because if you're going to get into marketing, you have to understand people. And that's another aspect that I've really been studying, just psychology of people and how people think. And you know what I mean? That way it's not just my mindset, because if I come into a business and it's just my mind put into it, it's probably not going to be very successful because you have 100,000 people in your clientele base, and you have to reach each one of those people, so you have to understand, one, how to communicate with people, two, how to you know uh adhere to other people's beliefs, and what they uh, what they believe in, how they see things, So it's more or less a perspective change for me, and I can't say I can't say I've been narrow minded in my life, but I can say that through this and just like Tony Robbins, man, he's great, and I've really liked a lot of his videos, TEDx and stuff like that, because he really breaks it down, and you're able to understand a perspective, and it's like, wait a minute, I've never thought about it that way. And just you're expanding your mind, just your whole mind just it takes a different perspective of life altogether. So I mean, for me, it's almost adventurous. So you start to feel that life inside of you come back. It's like that joy, that excitement, to where when I was working that last job for 5 years, man, I was miserable, and it robbed that of me. And just I mean, even where I'm at the past month and a half, it's been exciting. It's a thrill. It puts just the excitement back in life, period. So that's why I'm really excited about making steps, but I want to also take my time with it. I don't want to jump the gun, and
Yeah.
you know I want to keep my patience, but also hold that anticipation as well. But I mean, is there any other advice that you would give as far as just any of it? I mean, someone coming into it not knowing anything. I mean, different avenues of research that maybe I haven't taken. I mean, yeah, you got that audiobook. What else have you possibly researched or read that has helped you in your process to get to where you are now?
Okay, some things I can share with you. How, as you're feeling passionate, excited, all these great feelings right now. I also keep a journal. Definitely keep a journal
Okay.
of your adventure. Um, 5-10 minutes, you know, per day. It's cool. It's really going to help you out because as you reflect back next year today, you're going to see, because I study a lot on self development over the last many years of my life, and one of the biggest
Hmm.
things, and I share just my experience, not not like oh people said no, this is my experience. Um, Even up to today, I have self doubt, and so when I do have these like negative kind of like emotion feeling that's like creeping in, it's like no 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 no
Hmm.
no. All right, damn. 2 years ago I was doing that, and now I'm here. All right, I feel much better. So it's like
Yeah.
trying just keeping a log
Yeah.
of so you're always trying to beat yourself up for the things you're not doing and never giving yourself appreciation for what you've done. And so a journal would definitely, kind of help you out in that aspect. Two, we just mentioned earlier, join Facebook group of the same interest as you are doing.
Hmm.
Three, if definitely read. And if you're not sure which book to read, I'll suggest a few books to you. Uh, Definitely the first one is MJ DeMarco, The Millionaire Fastlane. I'll send you the audiobook, in case you're out and about, you can pop into your phone, kind of, while you're working at it, with your pull-up bar in the back. You can have that playing in the background. You'll definitely learn lots. Like you're excited now, you're going to be like 100 times more excited
Really?
after listening to it. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Follow people like Gary Vaynerchuk, um, excuse me, Grant Cardone, of course, Tony Robbins. Um, who else? As I think of them, as I remember them, I'll message you on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely do that.
Um, because now you're going to be working at home, so the only person you're going to really see is yourself in the mirror and your family. You know,
Mhm.
and so you're going to need a balance in your life. You're going to need that social aspect that you have from work that you're not going to get when you're working at home. Because every day I'm working from home, the only person I really talk to is mom on the phone. She calls me, see how I'm doing, and my fiance when she walks in. That's it. Mainly the only two people
Yeah.
I'm talking. I mean, I love them to death, but at the same time, I can't talk to them every day. It's just we're not built to be that way. You're social, I'm
Yeah.
social, and by being engaged, in these groups, it makes you feel as though okay, well, life is okay. Have a balanced
Yeah.
life. Definitely have a balanced life. What else can I suggest? Pick up this book. Do I have them? Yeah, The Miracle Morning. I know you have children, so it might be difficult to wake up early. But since you have time now, this book's about $17 online, on Amazon. Pick it up. It'll teach you because if you ever if you're listening to high income earners, billionaires, millionaires, they wake up early and get certain things done in the morning. So certainly
Hmm.
build new habits. From this book, he'll teach you how to build those new habits and what to do and how to do these kind of things. And one of them involve writing in your journal, gratitude journal, staying positive, reading, drinking a glass of warm water in the morning to get your body up and running. I mean, just these little things, working out 10 minutes, whether it's like pull-ups, running, or whatever it may be, just to get your
Hmm.
blood flowing, your mind thinking straight. So by like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, you're good to go. You know,
Hmm.
so you might, get your kids ready for school, daycare or whatnot, and then bam, 9 o'clock you're ready to go. Versus waking up at 7:30 and just rushing out things at 9 o'clock. You're like, oh, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. That's kind of. I mean, we just had break, of course, and then we had Martin Luther King there out for that. And it's like, man, I got used to kind of sleeping in because before I was up 6 o'clock before the alarm, I'd hit the treadmill, run a mile, mile and a half, maybe do a light workout real quick, get them ready, get them off school, then finish my workout, get my youngest sat down to eat. And, trying to, one thing I've really focused on is my diet. First thing in the morning, I'll scramble 4 eggs, cut up some kale, spinach,
Nice.
mix it in there. And here lately, just been topping with avocado, man. It just sets you all that protein, working through your body, especially after a good run or whatever, that just really starts your day off. So, I mean, it's one thing I've heard repetitively is routines. You know what I mean? You gotta, have certain even physical, mental, emotional routines every day to keep you going, and that helps you keep that focus, flowing. And that's one thing that I've tried, and it's helped me profoundly. But here lately, with them being out and sleeping in a little more, not having to, got to get back on that cycle. So once you break that cycle, it's not the it's a challenge to get back to it. But I mean, even my view on challenges is kind of really changed. Before it's like, oh man, a challenge, but it's like, all right, how can I do this better? How can I overcome and circum this challenge, with more intelligence and more of a mind frame, and approach it differently? Because I think that that's, a lot of people's problem. And it was my problem for the longest time up until literally just recently. Something just clicked in my head, and that was that. And so you just kind of, you know, I guess, approach things differently. But yeah, definitely. We got Millionaire, Fast Book, and then Miracle Morning. Any other books that you would recommend?
At the moment, I don't want to overload you with too many things. One of my
Okay.
all-time favorite book is Winning Through Intimidation, by Roger Ringer, I believe. I'm gonna have to double check on that. Hold on.
What was the name of it?
Winning Through Intimidation. Yeah, Robert Ringer. Robert Ringer. Um, it's the hold on. It's wow. Why so expensive? More than $10. Anyway, I'll send you the link through Facebook for the one you
Okay.
should be buying. But seemed like this is what the heck, $23. Anyway, I found this book at a local flea market when I was that back in my down days,
Mm-hmm.
and it did me wonder. It's just like the underdog making it out there in the world. But definitely a book I highly suggest you read. It's a real estate agent being a broker or whatnot. So, in second. Anyway, yeah, definitely. Winning Through Intimidation, Miracle Morning, and the audio book, to save you some money. I'll send it to you through Google Drive. So just message me
Okay.
your Gmail address, and I'll share it to you via the Drive. And I'll let you know when I'm planning on doing the webinar. I'm not exactly too sure yet when. My schedule
Okay.
this week has been atrocious, but that's my fault, my end. Just telling people I'm going to do it and not have a time for it. So that's my fault, but I need to really figure it out. But it's going to be about an hour, hour and a half, sort of, straight in the face type. Do this, click here. This is what you do. This is the criteria. Do this, just so you have all the formulas to do things. And then after that, like 2 weeks after that, then I'll hold another webinar. We'll teach you guys how to source the product that you've chosen, that you've done your research. And between those 2 weeks, as because I'm only selecting a handful of people to really work with right now, you guys could just bounce questions back and forth with me throughout the day on Facebook or whatnot. So that's gonna be
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I look forward to that, man. Because that's one thing. I mean, it's one thing getting on YouTube and, oh, this guy here, he explains everything. But if you kind of get lost, or maybe it's like, oh, I didn't quite understand exactly what's going on there, it really helps having someone that you can actually get feedback from, or, you know what I mean, different ideas from, even from there. You know what I mean? So I really look forward to that one. And then, you know, uh, man, if you, I guess, if you need any kind of, advice on anything, just give me a holler. I mean, it's kind of where I'm at. I want to keep collaborating with people, because that's one way for me that I feel like, you know what I mean, you're kind of who you surround yourself with. So for me, I want to surround myself with people doing this. You know what I mean? That way it's a collaboration and, just bounce ideas off of people and just kind of, use each other's shoulders to build each other up. And, that's what I'm hoping to find is find a good support network, a good network of people and just, kind of watch each other grow. You know what I mean? Like you're further ahead than me. I'm down here, but you know what I mean? Who knows? I hope to have the opportunity to be able to return the favor, even something as simple as, doing something like this.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's don't worry. You say you're down here, but you're not actually down here. You know, another aspect of life, you're up here. You know, while I'm down here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean that's kind of that's how we all are, and
Right.
that's where you kind of see the beauty of everything. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool.
All right.
Mm.
Let's send me your Gmail email address on
All right.
Facebook Messenger, and I'll send you the audio book. You know, right now. In
Okay.
case you want to get on it right now and just start your
Yeah,
training.
yeah. I'll probably lay the kids down and put it on.
Awesome. All right, I'll let you know when the webinar is. I want to hold it before this Friday. So, if any case, did you sign up on my website?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm already all signed up and all that. Got
Awesome.
confirmation email, so
Awesome. Okay.
we're good to go in there. So I'll just keep checking the email. That'll come through on email then.
Yeah, it's gonna come through email, and we'll just take it on from there. And then from there on, just have a pen and pad, take notes, and any questions, of course, I'll answer it live on the webinar.
Man, I look forward to it, man. I appreciate your time. You taking time out of your day to go ahead and answer some questions, give me some background, and just give me some direction. Everything kind of makes a lot more sense now with you, breaking it down the way you did. So
Awesome,
you
brother.
did help me. So I appreciate it, brother.
Glad to help you out, man. All right, well, best of luck with you and your four children. Again, dude, 2 years from now, I'm calling you for fatherly advice. So definitely, I have something in store for you to return the favor.
All right, well, man, anytime I'm right here. I appreciate it, man.
Okay, cool. Well, have a great
I
night,
look
great
forward.
evening.
All right, you too, man. I look forward to talking to you in the future.
Definitely will. I'll see you later.
All right, bye.